else do they do besides fixing cars?
They can dance. Hey, Alex, tell them how I can dance.
Why should I tell him? Do your number. Come on, Ricky, show us something. That's right.
Go, let's see how you really dance it.
Never mind her ass, Ricky. You do it fine. Woo! This was John, you both a shame. Go ahead. Woo! Dig it, man! Woo! Woo! Yeah! Ooh, that's really fine! Get it on! What's the problem there, Gloria? Let him down. Ooh, slipping in a salad. He has got the beat. Ricky.
Dig it.
I'd like to thank Steve for picking this week's movie club pick, House on the Edge of the Park.
This is Kelly Cassia, and today we're gonna review another movie. And since the ladies go first, I'm gonna start my review. We're gonna review the movie named House on the Edge of the Park. La Casa es Perduta nel Parco from 1980. Since it's Italian movie, so that's why I read in Italian. I hope I pronounce right. And the IMDb's rate 5.8. Whoa, after 4,000, more than 4,000 votes. So the director is Ruggero Deodato. The star is David Hayes, Annie Bailey, Christian Borromeo, and lots more. So the story is about, two low-life punks that invite themselves to a party at Porsche Villa. So I think it's a rich neighborhood, sounds like. After being taunted by their snobbish hosts, he hold everyone hostage in the house and he bully every man and every woman in there. So yeah, so the movie is about this bully guy, I guess David Hayes play Alex, and he have a friend, a accomplice, in his bulliness. So they go to this house, but in the beginning, I want to tell you my experience in the beginning of the movie. I was thinking when I played the movie, I was thinking that I missed some part. Maybe I have a bad quality movie playing in my screen because, I don't have the DVD. So I was confused. So I have to ask around that, did I miss the beginning, that I have bad quality or not? Because just start this Alex driving this car like a maniac, following some woman. And that's it. And the image that they're filming this, the set was really, immature, really bad, like bad quality and everything. So I was confused a little bit. But sounds like he's a mechanic. I don't know if he owned this place, the mechanic, but he worked there. And in this night that he was driving around this car, he just, stopped this woman and he raped her inside her car and killed her, and you could see they show really graphic, like she's naked and everything, and he choked her to death and she died. And then that scream is over. Then just the second important scene is him in the garage, all dressed up really nice. It was his friend, and somebody with a very nice car come in the garage and ask him to fix the car, and he would pay, whatever it cost, because they have to get to a party. And he refused to pay. He threw the money on the guy, and the guy gave him $40, and I guess in 1980 that $40 was lots of money. And he refused, but his friends sounds like so nice and say, I can take a look, maybe I can fix it. And he did, so the guy, this Alex said, you know what, since you bother me going to my boogie night, now it's too late. I'm going to your party. And they were like, but it's not a real party. It's only 5 people. And he's like, so we can make a party. So he took himself, in the car with his friend, and they took off to this house, this nice neighborhood, and it's really big, rich house. And then that sounds like all the women give him the look that they really like him. They want to, get laid with him. And in some part of the movie, I don't want to tell you exactly, but in some part of the movie, things get twist. This Alex get very annoyed by those rich guys and start to hit them, fight with them, and I was confused because they're having great time. They are dancing, even his friend was doing some striptease for everybody there. And this Alex was sounds like he was so jealous his friends was, having good time too, And I guess he just get fed up and just start fighting with the guys. And to that point, he started like abusing the women too, like cutting their clothes off, touching their bodies, and, and he did have sex with one of them, and sounds like she wanted very much. That's the way I see she was acting. And when he turned the table against, he did force to have sex with her again, the same girl, and she's look like she doesn't want it, but she wanted at the same time, because the noises that she was doing, like, this is not a noise that you don't want it, like, get out of me, like, and try to force back, even if he had a knife or not. And basically he did not have a knife the whole time. Not a knife, it was like, how you call those things that you shave the beard, those sharp, little, I don't know how they call, but it was this barber beard cutting, So he was holding only that, looked like it was sharp, but that's all he got. That's the only weapon he got in his hands. And when he was having sex with this woman, he has no weapon in his hands, so she could do a lot. So the image I have in this movie is there's lots of scenes that they could get away if they want to, and the woman would not have to be abused that way if they don't want to, but give me the image that they do want it. They were having pleasure for that. And that was the weird thing, because this Alex was showing control of them without being so powerful, without real good weapon, And another scene that I didn't like as much was another girl just popping out in the house, and he said that she was a virgin, and and everything, and he started cutting her with that over the place. Like, was not necessary, this, really. Why you were cutting her like that? And all the other ones was just looking at, Even some parts when they do try to take back the knife that he have in their hands, and that confusing over there, that will be easy move. They are like only 2 against 5 in the house, basically, So, I mean, you can fight back easily, But in the end, you do see that makes sense why they let this Alex manipulate this whole thing, or think he was in control, But like I said, even if it's a part of a plan, if they have the intention to make this Alex feel that way, those women should, not allow him abuse them. But like I said, sounds like they do want it to be abused that way because they feel pleasure by that. That's the image I have, So yeah, so this is the image that I got from this movie. I think maybe it's my first or second time watching Italian movie. I don't have that much experience with Italian movies, so I cannot say much or criticize too much. But I'm just want to give you the review what I think and what this movie, reflect to me. I think I would give at 5 for this movie. Like I say, the camera angles and exchange of scenes was very cheap for me, and I can see it's very low budget movie, but still was not very clear, and especially the begin I really hated, was really low bad filming, the beginning, and the parts in the end was too forced. They should make a little bit more, and the acting was not that great either. I hate that look between them and each other. It was so cheesy and so fake. So the acting was not good for me. I'm sorry, and but I'm glad I have a chance to see this movie. And since Bill gonna go up next, he probably gonna give you guys more information after, and the actress, because he have more experience of watching Italian movies. So this whole world here of this movie is new for me, but I'm very happy to have the opportunity to watch and tell you guys about what I think. So up next you have Bill's review.
Thanks, Kelly. And here are my thoughts on House on the Edge of the Park. So it's directed by Rutger Diodato, and he is famous for, of course, Cannibal Holocaust, which is a favorite of mine. It's one that's hard to watch, but it's definitely a powerful film. And it stars, of course, David Hess, who's famous for Last House on the Left. And you can tell this film is kind of trying to cash in on that. Even the name is very similar, House on the Edge of the Park. So you can tell that, they are trying to cash in a bit. But that's okay. That's what Italian films do. And this film is Italian, even though it's set in New York. It is an Italian film. It has mainly Italian actors. I recognize two of them from. It's weirdly that the competing film, sort of, to Cannibal Holocaust was Cannibal Ferox, which he brought two of those actors in for this film. So yeah, here David Hess is kind of playing the same character as he did in Last House on the Left. But this time he has this one friend that's I don't know if he's playing somebody who's slow. He doesn't seem that slow. He just seems like a kind of a weird guy, and you can tell he's actually an Italian actor. His voice is dubbed, so and I don't know if that hurts it, but I'm kind of used to that in Italian films. So they're out for the day in the town, and you actually know beforehand that David Hess has at least killed one girl. So he's kind of a sleazeball, and he meets this couple in a garage that in their garage that need help with their car, and so they help their car, and they kind of invite themselves to a party that this couple is going to. So this is the whole setup on how it starts. So being an Italian film, you kind of expect, it's almost like the people to not act normal. Like, I'm not sure, like, because the women at this party, they're all kind of in love with David Hess, which I'm not sure why, and they're all flirting with him, and they all like act like they want it. And later on in the film, you kind of get the impression that maybe they're kind of all in on this, so maybe that's an excuse. But it kind of goes farther than you would ever go in this scenario. Like David Hess, he is a creep. He's a sleazeball. He just starts to terrorize this whole party, and his friend too. But his friend's kind of like the almost like the the slow character from the last from I Spit on Your Grave, but he's not that slow. But he's kind of like playing almost like he's not. It's not completely his fault. You're playing it off, so it's kind of you kind of feel sorry for him a bit, but not really. I never felt sorry for him the entire film. So if they were going for that, that didn't really work. David Hess, though, I think, um, if he was trying to pull off the sleazeball role again, I think again he does pull it off. Uh, he is great at playing, yeah, that just dirty sleazeball guy you just love to hate. And yeah, I think again he does a good job in this, and he just terrorizes his entire this entire party. And but there's this one scene I should mention. Right when they get to the party, or I get together, I guess they were calling it. There's this hilarious dance scene that I could watch over and over again. It's great. Anyway, if you get a chance to watch this, make sure you watch the dance scene, because that is hilarious. So what else can I say about this film? The theme song that they keep playing over and over again. I think that really suits the film. I think it's kind of like it's like a almost like a lullaby kind of soft song that kind of um, just to poses the scenes that are going on, and and um, Ruggero Deodato, he does the same thing in Cannibal Holocaust. He has this sweet, nice music as a backdrop to these horrific acts. So I think that actually works. Um, the whole motive at the end, you learn the motive of what's going on here, what's happening, and that to me is a little bit far fetched. I do not think that the person who set this all up, who would let it go that far and that out of hand before he kind of switched the tables. So I'm not going to tell you what's happening, because I know some people haven't seen it. So I'm not going to tell you what would happen. But to me, it's kind of far fetched. But I think if what this film tries to achieve, I also say that David Hess's his character, it's almost like, I don't know if it seems like he had something happen to him in his past, and now he kind of like just hates women, and he just thinks all women are sluts, and even the ones that aren't, he wants to make into a slut. He's just a terrible guy. I probably shouldn't say much more about him. But the centerpiece of this film, and he's what kind of makes this film work. Even though it's like the morals of the film, it's kind of hard for you to get your head around the morals of what's going on, because people do act kind of like strange, and not how normal people would have acted. But I guess the ending, even though it's far fetched, it kind of gives you a reason for why they're acting that way. So I'll give it that. Uh, what else can I say? Yeah. So I think overall it does what it's trying to achieve. It wants to be a sleazy thriller, in the vein of Last House, and I think it does that. So overall, I'd give it, I don't know. If I would have to give it a score, it's maybe 7.25, or 7.5. It's it's not bad. And like I said, I watched it 3 times already, and it hasn't gotten worse. It hasn't really gotten better for me, but it's around there. So yeah, thanks for listening to my review, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook groups, which we have. We have two. We have Horror Movie Review Maniacs and Movie Freaks Reviews. And we also have a podcast called Movie Freaks Reviews that encompasses both horror and non-horror. Um, but this would be on the Horror Movie Review Maniacs Facebook group. We're also on Twitter and Instagram, and yeah. So make make sure you subscribe to all of that, and make sure you like this video. Okay, I'll see you next time.